my name is Deonna Green and I live in Remus, Michigan. When I was very little, my mom quilted, my grandmother quilted. We used to kind of listen to the gossip that the grown-ups talked about and things like that. That was fun. My mother tried to teach me. I kind of picked up on things on my own. And the first quilt that I made was awful. I just took it to my mom and I said, Mom, can you fix this? But I guess it was through watching them and watching my mom, watching my grandmother, watching all the ladies, my aunts.
You started making these amazing quilts that you've become known for. So they all had to do with your family. So describe for me what motivated you to start on these family quilts?
I did it for my grandmother's probably 85th birthday, maybe. I made a family tree quilt where you could remove the leaves and add family members on it. And from there, my cousin saw it and he says, we're gonna make a Todd family quilt. So we made one and then we made another one and then we made another one. But as, you know, we kept adding names and we never took off a name, though we should have, but I guess it was just from that it kind of inspired it. And I've always been a history buff, you know, and genealogy was one of my favorite things, and it just kind of caught on like that.
So tell me about the quilt that's on exhibit today in the exhibition.
My Voices of Freedom. I guess I did it for my children, because at the time my middle son, I think, was in high school. I wanted him to know a little bit more about Black history, and he cares nothing about it. I guess I just did it for the kids, or my children and my grandchildren, and they cared nothing about it. But I wanted to, and since I did that quilt, there's probably 100 more that I should have added on there. You know, it just keeps, the list keeps going on.
Because right now, how many figures do you have on there, approximately? Yeah, okay. Well, you have a lot of embroidered figures on there. How did you make all of these choices?
I don't know, it was a give and take. After I finished the quilt, there was like 5 or 6 more I wish I would have put on there. One of them that I wanted to remove, I won't say names, but you know who I'm talking about. I don't know how I made the choices. I just, like I said, I was very interested in history, Black history especially.
You also did it in a technique that surprises a lot of people. Can you tell me about that technique? Well, it's embroidery. You like embroidery.
Usually one strand of embroidery floss. And I think I used a satin embroidery floss on that one, which was hard to do because it would break and break and break. Really small needle, so that, you know, you could get the stitches tight so that you could form the face and stuff. Some of them I cheated. Some of them my nephew drew for me. He's kind of an artist. Some of them I scanned the picture, and some of them I traced. I think a couple of them I drew because I couldn't get a good image of anything.
Why are you happy that they're here at Michigan State University Museum?
So the public can see them, so they can get kind of more knowledge of, I don't know, the quilts and materials and mostly the history. Like I said, I'm a history buff, you know, and so it's kind of, because a lot of people look at it and they'll say, well, I didn't know that, or I didn't know that, or who was that person, or, and it usually, and I think it tells up there what they did or what they invented, and I think it's the proper place for it.